Alrighty, guys, we're back for Discard Aggro, and this is a Dragonstorm Standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked. We have 3 Tersa Lightshatter. It's a 3-mana 3/3 legendary creature rockin' haste, and when it enters, discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. Also, whenever Tersa attacks, if there are 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you exile a card at random from your graveyard. You may play that card this turn. Cool stuff, man. I love that it has haste, that's for sure. We are definitely trying to do the aggro thing here. And playing a Lightshatter on 3, if you had like a turn 2 Proft's Eidetic Memory, should be pretty gross, man. So this is a 2-mana legendary enchantment. When it enters, draw a card. Beautiful. It immediately replaces itself, which I like. You have no maximum hand size. Okay. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've drawn more than 1 card this turn, you put X+1/+1 counters on target creature you control, where X is the number of cards you've drawn this turn -1. So they don't want you to count your original card draw. Everything past that, however, extra counters on powerful creatures like Tersa. I'll tell you what, a 5/5 hasty creature on 3 is kind of no joke, right? Also, plugging extra +1/+1 counters onto evasive creatures with flying and stuff. Steamcore Scholar making the cut. So it's a 3-mana 2/2 flying vigilance, and when this creature enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, unless you discard an instant or sorcery card, or a creature card with flying as well. So this should be excellent in here, but only 3 of them because I wanted to make room for a 1 of Kiora the Rising Tide. So 3-mana 3/2, when it enters, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards. Has that bottom threshold ability, which should be all too easy to get to for when this attacks. If you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you create Scion of the Deep, which is a legendary 8/8 blue octopus creature token. So Kiora has been really cool, man. Now, kind of the main build around is Monument of Endurance, still here on the top end as a 4 of. It's a 3-mana artifact, and whenever you discard a card, you choose one that hasn't been chosen this turn. Draw a card, create a treasure token, or each opponent loses 3 life. So I emphasized this turn because, of course, you can do all that on your turn, and then you can do all that on the opponent's turn as well, which is actually really cool. So other ways to discard things, we have Fear of Missing Out making the cut as a 4 of, should be excellent in here. We have 4 Glacial Dragonhunts, which is a 2-mana sorcery rockin' Izzet colors up there. Has Harmonize for 4, a blue and a red, which might honestly come in handy. So draw a card, then you may discard a card. When you discard a non-land card this way, deals 3 damage to target creature, which, yeah, I don't know. Kind of testing this one out. I think it will be pretty good in the right deck list, and this should be the right deck list. So we have 3 Artist Talent on to do the thing nicely. We have 3 Roiling Dragonstorms. It's a 2-mana enchantment. Now, when this enchantment enters, draw 2 cards, then discard a card. And when a dragon you control enters, return this enchantment to its owner's hand. We actually have no dragons packed in. This is just in here for more ways to draw, more ways to discard, and the fact that it's an enchantment too might mean we can bargain the Torch the Tower with a Roiling Dragonstorm or something. Outside of that, there's going to be other ways to bargain, but not too many, right? Like, you don't want to have to sacrifice Artist Talent to a Torch the Tower. Either way, Torch the Tower being our main early spot removal, all 4 of them making the cut. Marauding Mako, it's a 1 red mana 1/1 with cycling for 2, which could come in handy potentially if you already have a Mako or 2 on the board. But whenever you discard 1 or more cards, you put that many +1/+1 counters on this creature, so this could get out of hand very fast. We also have a 1 of 3 steps ahead. It feels a little weird only playing 1 of those, honestly, so the mana base guys opting for early land with all 4 Spirebluff Canal, all 4 Shivan Reef, oh dear, and all 4 of the Riverpyre Verge. So that leans the deck list into red, and that's what the deck list is leaning towards anyways. That's what we want early on anyways, so honorable mentions. Grease Wrench Goblin was a card I thought about. Chart a Course, of course. Scrounging Skyray almost made the cut. A Winter Night Stories could have been cool. Storm Shriek Feral could have been neat, and that also would give us a top-end dragon to work with the Roiling Dragonstorm. And then the Meringue River Regent, kind of a similar concept here. And also, like, the Omen is another way to help us discard cards. Okay, guys, I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video, so look forward to that. In the meantime, let's go ahead and take this into some ranked, see how we do. All right, we'll see if we can get right into that first game. In the meantime, what am I expecting from the build? Bro, if we can get any early setup, then I'm expecting a lot. If we have trouble getting early setup, then it's going to be pretty janky probably. So we'll see. We'll see. Like, ooh, like double Makos, we go first. Holy cow, dude. Yeah. Like, this is a hand where I'm expecting something. So we'll see what we could pull off. So the question here is, do we want to go right into Fear of Missing Out? Oh, removal for Swift Spear is much better here, right? So, Glacial Dragonhunt. Roiling Dragonstorm, not terrible. The sorcery speed, so we want to do this. Oh, another Mako. I'm actually going to send that. Yeah, that's probably fine. I do like the triple Makos, though. And we're also trying to do the aggro thing, so I'm going to swing. I'd say their version of Izzet is going to be a little different, though. Corey Steelcutter, hi. No third mana, but Artist Talent isn't terrible. I think we're going to try to draw the third mana with the Roiling Dragonstorm over the Fear of Missing Out, because this lets us see 2 and then discard. Find that mana, right? We don't find the mana. The Barrage is probably pretty good. The Steamcore Scholar flies over the Monks easy peasy. But they're all 3 mana, dude. This is a lot. These are expensive. It feels pretty bad, but Artist Talent, I think I'm going to keep. I think it's very likely that we'll find mana next turn, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. So we have Creature, Sorcery, and Enchantment in the grave now. Almost 4 for the Fear of Missing Out. I can only imagine Corey Steelcutter's about to power up here. They go for an Opt. And they're going to be swinging for 4. We're also going down to 15. Taking time for the setup with Monument of Endurance is very unlikely this game. The next discard is probably going to be Monument of Endurance. So Glacial Dragonhunt isn't terrible. I'm pretty sure we still pop the Monk over the Swift Spear, because the Monk is just at this point a better version, even though the Steelcutter's probably going on to a different Monk anyways. We're still looking for that third mana, man. Alright, Monument of Endurance is the next discard. We missed the third mana again. Oh dear. Oh dear. I hope this is okay, by the way, targeting the Monk. Swinging for 4 are actually keep blocker. I'm gonna swing. We're kind of doing the thing, but we're going way too slow for what Izzet Steelcutter is capable of, right? So yeah, I can imagine the Steelcutter's powering up another Monk here. This is a lot of damage. Oh dear. Oh dear. Ow. No, we missed the third mana. No. Oh no. So here's something to consider, guys. If I would have established Fear of Missing Out last turn, I was looking for mana, first of all. I thought I'd find it, but if I would have established this last turn, then maybe we could have had a swing with it this turn, untap the Mako, and maybe we would have actually won, right? So now, though, lands, am I right? And actually, though, yeah, opponent. So we do have Glacial Dragonhunt if we want to tap the Mako there. So that doesn't seem that great, right? So Fear of Missing Out is our play. We'll get rid of the... I guess it doesn't really matter, right? Because we're going to die next turn. We'll see if we can find mana. We find mana! Let's go! Now the question is, are they going to win in the air? Or are we actually... Are we okay? I'll try. We'll try, right? We'll see, but I'm pretty sure we're dead. Yeah, there's some games where I'm like, oh, I gotta go for the fun swing or I'm gonna regret it, but it's just one 5/5 Mako. It's not like the greatest swing in the world, right? And one more card, and a good game opponent, and we'll let them play this out. We'll let them get that swing too. Guys, what do you think? I think we had a chance, right? I think there was a chance hidden here somewhere, for sure, for sure. They drop an oops. I don't understand what the oops is for, opponent. I don't understand. Two very different versions of Izzet, and you know what? I would not mind at all trying to get some revenge on Corey Steelcutter Izzet later on in the video or something. We'll block here. That's a pretty good block. We can't really chump all this extra trample, but I'll still like take maximum blocks where we can take it. Oh man, they still have something. -9. Opponent, you almost missed lethal there, buddy. That was close. But yeah, like I said, I'd love to try to get some revenge against that because I think we can get there. Totally. There could have been somewhere in the middle of that game too where I could have kept the Mako back and attempted a block. I don't think your blocks are going to be very great when you see those deck lists, right? Because Monstrous Rage is at least 56 of their 60 cards. That's what it feels like sometimes. So it's very, very hard to block. But sometimes the block is necessary. We have all 4 Torch the Towers in here for good reason too. We didn't see too much removal that game either, did we? We might actually have a chance for some setup since we already have 3 mana in hand too. So this is good. This is really good. Torch the Tower open to pick apart whatever the opponent plays early here. Yeah, it's a swamp. I like Glacial Dragonhunt, but I think we can actually send that. Especially since it has the Harmonize, and I don't want to get rid of mana by any means. Fear of missing out is going to get picked up by Cut Down. Alright, still worth it. I'm going to keep the Torch the Tower. Maybe not. Maybe not. I don't entirely know what we're up against yet, but 3 damage without sacrificing something might be a little better, especially if we can establish the Monument of Endurance. Oh, crap. Deep Cavern Bat, though. Crap. They're going to take the Monument of Endurance because they don't want us to have any setup, and Mono Black... Oh. I guess we're fine for the turn of setup. They wanted the removal out of hand, so we didn't have an option to take the bat out of the equation, but I'm surprised. I thought they'd tempo us out here by having us skip the turn of Monument of Endurance, instead forcing us into removal for our turn 3. That might mean they have something in there to deal with Monument, but I can't think of anything right now that Mono Black would have that would deal with artifacts. That being said too, though, since they started their engines, taking the removal let the bat get through so they could continue the engines rolling, right? So I don't know. All that kind of makes sense. So Torch the Tower is really good. I don't really like the artist talent here, unfortunately. I think what I'm going to do... Well, no, I'm going to keep the artist talent. I think I'm going to go Torch the Tower, the bat, then discard the Dragon Hunt to the Fear. Because then we'll still have Harmonize. I don't know how often the Harmonize will come into play, but... And probably Treasure? Wouldn't mind extra card draw, too. No, I'll go card draw. Yeah, extra mana. Alright. Alright, guys. In fear of missing out, we do have the Delirium on already. Sheoldred. Oh, dear. Oh dear, guys. Sheoldred might be the most punishing possible card. Crap. That's really, really bad. Okay, we need a way around the Shieldred, but I don't know what that way looks like right now. I'm just gonna dump both artist talents onto the board. We're gonna get punished by Shieldred once here. That's fine. We could get punished by Shieldred twice if we find a little more. I wouldn't mind the treasure token. 5th mana could be good for next turn. Dragonstorm, Scholar. Shieldred's just gonna kill us, right? So I guess we're forced into damage. Not forced into it necessarily, but we should start. Guys, send help. Shieldred is literally one of the worst possible cards to be up against for this deck list. Oh, I don't even know what they take here. I guess the Steamcore Scholar, because they don't want us to be able to fly in the air or block their Deep Cavern Bat for that matter. If they swing with Shieldred, we might be able to start pushing enough damage through with the fear of missing out. Other than that, we're going to need to... Uh-oh, they find removal. Now they are definitely swinging with that Shieldred. We go down to 11. We don't have a 4-mana Dragonhunt. The best case scenario would be doubling down on the Shieldred. Tersa isn't bad, I guess. I don't know, dude. I don't know. In that last turn too... Oh, we're just like super dead, aren't we? Pretty much no matter what, if we didn't have an answer for Shieldred, which kind of tells me maybe we want some form of tempo in here. We do have 3 steps ahead. I guess that could potentially counter Shieldred, but here's what we're gonna do, guys. We're just gonna activate Artist Talent because we're super dead, man. There's almost nothing we could do about this, I'd say. We'll get the... Oh, torch the tower. Hi. So treasure token is where we'd want to start because now we can torch the tower. Roiling Dragonstorm. Glacial Dragonhunt. Okay, see? This isn't bad. 2 mana, a Monument of Endurance. And we could, I guess we'll go, instead of the card draw, we'll go the 3 here. Thank you, Shieldred. Thank you. Oh dear, oh dear. And then I guess we could discard the Glacial Dragonhunt. And then we still have card draw on the Monument and drop the good game because Shieldred's so punishing, dude. What do you guys think? Do you see a way through there? Let me know. Outside of doubling down on Shieldred, even if we found a way to double down the damage to get rid of that 5 toughness, they could have played Shieldred number 2 from hand. So, I mean, that's just going to be the absolute bane of this deck's existence. Outside of that, we kind of got the engines rolling a little bit. If they missed the Shieldred, I think there could have been a real chance there for real. If they just had demons instead or something. However, big chunky demons are also going to be pretty tricky for this deck list to keep up with, so... These hands have been terrific, dude. We're actually going to try to establish Artist's Talent this time before the Monument of Endurance. Like, get this to level 3. Oh, unless they're going to have Get Lost in their deck list, in which case that's probably not worth it. I'll still try Artist Talent, but we might not get it to level 3, depending on what the opponent plays next here. Okay, Naya Colors, Brushland Vantage, Innkeeper's Talent. It's still probably a Get Lost deck list. Do I risk it? Yeah, what the heck, man. Let's do it. We had a turn for setup. Now look at our hand. We'll use the 2 mountains for Monument if we get to keep the Artist Talent, of course. If we don't get to keep it, that's fine too. I risked it. Sometimes the risk is worth it. Oh, Pop Patch Recruit. It's going to be Naya counters, huh? All right. So we need the double blue, so we want to use these for Monument. Oh, we don't need the double blue because actually... First of all, I'm keeping this hand. Decline. Yeah, I guess. Okay. Okay. These deck lists are so hard to run sometimes, guys. They really are. Yeah, we can go treasure on the endurance, but we're going to start with extra card draw from the Dragonstorm. And I guess we decline? Because I'd rather keep everything else in hand. No, I can ditch the Steamcore Scholar because we can find an earlier creature maybe. Okay, and then we want to go treasure for the first one. Right? Draw 2. Glacial Dragonhunt's pretty good. But that's probably the discard. Thanks to the Harmonize. And then I'll draw on Monument. Still have 2 mana open. Oh, right. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, dude. All right, so now we want to make sure we pop this before they untap, because you never know what kind of protection they could have in the deck list. And I actually like the second Torch the Tower too. So they're going to double down on the first recruit, getting it above the actual Torch the Tower, unless we go ahead and use the bargain, which we can thanks to the Dragonstorm. Okay, all right, so decline, because I still like this hand, funny enough. All right, bargain it on up. Patch Recruit is so freaking good, man. Like, the hoops we just had to jump through just to remove 2 of them, you know? And at this point, I didn't actually get the -3, but I still like the hand too much. I'm just gonna decline, unfortunately. Another Lightshatter. I'm gonna send it. I think we're fine with 1. I think the opponent's gonna reestablish their board state for the turn and not keep removal open anyways. And we didn't get the -3 on the endurance, which could matter. Really could. And Queen Evangelist, like I said, reestablish that board state. Innkeeper's Talent probably boosts the bat here. They do. Fear of missing out. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Okay. So I'm going to go Eidetic Memory. I don't want to send anything. But I think I am going to send the Fear. Opponent's falling asleep. I don't blame you for 1 second, opponent. I don't blame you for 1 second, buddy. That's so funny, man. All right. So next up on the list is the Lightshatter. We want to grab the treasure. I guess I'll send the other Lightshatter and one of the Dragonstorms. I guess that's fine. Okay, treasure, and each opponent loses 3. Luckily, we found more mana here too, so now we can establish the Mako first before going Roiling Dragonstorm, or we can save it for next turn, but I don't think we have to do that by any means, especially since the Eidetic Memory. I kind of want to keep the Scholar. Never mind, I'll send it. Yeah, what the heck, man? What the heck? Mako gets the boost, Dragonstorm. All right, another Monument of Endurance. I'm going to send the Mountain this time, because a 2-mana Dragon Hunt is much better. Nice. I'm pretty sure they chump, though. I'm pretty sure they chump here. That's fun, dude, but wow. My brain is melting right now. Every time I play a Monument of Endurance deck list, oh, Hallandal. What's up? It's been so long. Dude, this is legit scary all of a sudden. Okay, Canal. All right, number 1, no matter what, I'll use 2 mountains here. Monument of Endurance, number 2 is really, really good. Okay, and we can start with card draw easily. Mako gets the boost. 3 steps ahead's pretty good, actually. Right, so Verge. We're actually going to start with Glacial Dragonhunt, right? Get rid of one of their chump blockers. I don't mind the Verge. but I guess we send it since we can generate 2 treasure tokens on the monuments here. Treasure, and I guess even more card draws fine too. Oh, a lot of mana though. I don't like that. We're going to discard the 3 steps ahead so we can actually do the 3 damage successfully to their chump blocker that I was worried about. Each opponent loses 3 life. And then we go another treasure token, which I guess doesn't matter now. So I guess we'll just go lose 3 life, right? Yeah, only having mana in hand is terrible. I guess we can activate this. Non-combat damage, but... Oh, it doesn't matter. The Eidetic Memory and then Full Swing is lethal damage regardless. That's actually brutal, dude. Holy cow. Yeah, so if they blocked with Hallandale, 11 damage was still going to get through. Huh. I mean, if we do the thing, we do the thing, bro. We got lucky. We had some turns of setup there. The opponent was also trying to establish some setup. Naya counters actually looks pretty cool, opponent. I like that. All right, guys. While I have you here in the middle of the video, make sure you check out that description where we do have that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too if you're interested in joining either of those up or supporting the channel that way. And also, guys, for the YouTube side of things, if you enjoy... if you like the video, make sure you actually drop it a like. And if you enjoy the channel, then consider subscribing because it really does help out the channel. So thank you, thank you. Wow, we go first again? Holy cow. That's awesome news. And I haven't minded any of these hands. The hands have actually been really good so far. Yeah, I like the Roiling Dragonstorm. I love that it's an enchantment that we can sacrifice to the bargain. I really like all that. We should be able to find our 3rd mana easy peasy here. Actually, I don't even know how much land we have packed into the build. We don't have much, though, because of how much cycling the deck is doing. I'll have to check at the end if I remember. When we go over it in more in-depth. I guess I'll get the island down, no worries there. And then... Roiling Dragonstorm, draw 2. See what we want to discard here. I don't mind the 4th mana, because it'll be okay to play multiple things on the same turn. But I think I am going to actually send one of the Verge and keep double monuments and everything. You know what I mean? Yeah, we have so many 3-drops that no matter what, we need to see 3, but after that... Alright, let's see if the first one hits the counter spell. If it doesn't get countered, this is excellent to get established early against Simic colors. It's a negate. Hopefully they don't have too many more of those packed into their hand. Does the opponent find their 3rd? It's going to be cash grab for the turn, and I just saw another negate hit the graveyard, so that's great news for us, man. And tapped land. Awesome. So, come on down, Monument of Endurance. It's established. Oh, this town ain't big enough, though. Crap, it returns permanence. Oh, crap, dude, they're going to have great tempo. Cash grab. Okay. Okay, send more This Town Ain't Big Enough to the grave, opponent, please. No, only the 1 so far. Okay. Well. Steamcore Scholar. If it gets countered, it's fine. Look, they didn't play the Up the Beanstalk. We know what's about to happen. The question is, what's the counter? Is it really fear of missing out? Maybe. Glacial Dragonhunt could just draw. We don't have to hit anything. Like, we don't have to discard. Now, I'll go Fear of Missing Out, because then we can keep Torch the Tower open too, and if it gets countered, we have a second Fear of Missing Out too. Phantom Interference. Okay, we have Torch the Tower open, and also Delirium on the Fear of Missing Out now. I bet they keep that 2 mana open, guys. Yeah, they sure do. Alright, so... Roiling Dragonstorm. That was a great draw, man. I like that being countered over the fear of missing out. I like much more. And see, if I didn't send the mana... That's their third negate, guys. Wow. I wonder if they have just 3 packed in or if they're rocking all 4. Anyways, if I would have kept that mana earlier, we could have tried 2 things on the same turn. So that's important, for sure. All right, Kiora is pretty good. I guess I'd rather Steamcore Scholar get countered than Kiora, because Kiora can generate those 8/8s, which is pretty good against the Simic. I don't even know what to call this right now. Simic crabs, right? They got like those top end big old chunky crabs. Kiora's 8/8 octopus, but this would let us fly over top of it. No, yeah, it's going to be... I'd rather them counter the Steamcore Scholar. At some point, they got to run out of counterspells, right? Right, guys? Right? Only 1 Phantom Interference has been used, though. This town ain't big enough. Bounce the up the Beanstalk. Bounce the Monument of Endurance. They still have 2 mana open here. And it's a counterspell. Holy cow, the opponent is doing the tempo thing. Except they haven't played any creatures yet, but still. More mana would be good. It's not. But Lightshatter is pretty good. Establishing the monument. I mean, it's really bad, right? It's really bad. 4th negate. It is. They have all 4 packed in, guys. Oh, no. Oh, no. Let's see what else they have for 2 mana. Okay, Tolarian Terror. And that, yeah, it's Terror. And then they also have the crabs packed in, too, I'm pretty sure. Terror number 2. Guys, this is scary business. Hey, there's a 4th mana. Now we can do multiple things on the same turn. But Dragonhunt not doing too much against Terror. Fear of missing out. Torch the Tower not doing much against Terror either. 3 steps ahead. Kiora. Kiora makes the most sense to me, but like, is anything gonna land for the rest of the game is the question, right? They still got 5 cards in hand. Hey, Kiora on the board. That might just mean that they have this town ain't big enough. Discard 2 cards. We're going to get rid of one of the Lightshatters and the Glacial Dragonhunt since it's not doing much here, right? Torch the Tower's open, but not hitting too much right now. I don't think it's actually going to hit anything in the opponent's deck list. We should probably send the Torch the Tower at some point too. Okay, this town ain't big enough. Bounces the Kiora, bounces the up the Beanstalk. We're in danger, bro. We're on a 2-turn clock, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be 2 turns because I don't see a way around this. Seed of Hope. There's another Phantom Interference. Up the Beanstalk. Draw a card. 3 cards in hand. Or 3 mana open for all those cards in hand is what my brain was trying to say there. 4 mana. All right. All right. We're gonna try. Hey, more mana. All right, let's do it. Kiora, come on down, buddy. Yes, it lands. All right, so we're gonna send Torch the Tower probably. And more mana, but I guess that doesn't matter right now. Although getting to the 6th mana next turn, if we can successfully chump, could be pretty good. One of the fear of missing outs then. And that way we'll have 6 mana next turn for 2 3-drops potentially. Or maybe the Glacial Dragon... No, Glacial Dragonhunt only does 3 damage. Also, we have to discard for fear of missing out. So I guess it better be the island, right? Because there's still a good chance that we find more islands too. Uh-oh, the third Lightshatter. Uh-oh. All right, so if they can tempo both of these, we're dead, which I have a feeling, man. Bounce and bounce. Yeah. Yeah, good game, opponent. That's brutal stuff, right? This is one of those deck lists where I'm surprised we don't see this more often because it's relatively budget friendly too, right? Up the Beanstalk's uncommon, Terror's common, Seed of Hope is common, Unsummon and Into the Floodmaw, of course, are budget friendly. Common for Phantom Interference, common for Negate, uncommon for This Town Ain't Big Enough, and the Crab that's packed in is like an uncommon too, right? Cash Grab is common, Bushwhack is uncommon. I wonder if they'll try out the Wildling in these builds at some point. There's the Crab. It is. It's uncommon. Yeah, dude. I mean, we just got completely obliterated, completely picked apart there. That's really funny, actually. Guys, overall, I'd say the deck list did the thing that I wanted it to do. It showcased itself pretty well. It completely melted my brain a few times. It's a pretty tough one to play with, but I would say a little more practice and it wouldn't be too bad, honestly. Let's end there, right? Even though we couldn't end on a high note and the last game we got completely picked apart, I'm still pretty proud of what the deck was able to do when it did it. So yeah, discard aggro. Here's the deck list again, guys. I found that early removal is absolutely essential with all the hyper aggro that's been floating about. Torch the Tower is a good one. And I like that we can bargain easily with cards like Roiling Dragonstorm. And there's other stuff that we really don't want to bargain away, but we could, like Eidetic Memories an enchantment, Artist Talents an enchantment, Fear of Missing Out's an enchantment, right? So Monument of Endurance is an artifact. Another important note here is it creates artifacts or tokens that we can sacrifice to the bargain in the form of treasure tokens. So that's pretty important, actually. We have so many 3-drops that we really felt that today whenever we were looking for more mana. 22 land is about right. Honestly, the deck list could probably get away with 21 land because of how much we are actually filtering out. I actually really like this Glacial Dragonhunt because when you're using it for the discard thing, great, you're using it for the discard thing, and then you're removing a creature, hopefully, and all that's awesome. Or you can just discard the Glacial Dragonhunt to another thing and maybe use it later on with Harmonize, which shouldn't be too bad at all, not only if you're ramping on an Endurance or two with treasure tokens, but more importantly, if you're getting a nice big old chunky creature, whether it's +1/+1 counters from the Eidetic Memory, or just Marauding Mako growing over time, it should not be hard at all to get this back down to 2 mana, use the Harmonize ability, use the discard again, remove something else, hopefully. Since you're discarding, you're popping off with the Monument or 2, right? So Artist Talent could probably be dropped down to 2, and I could see going up another Broadside Barrage because Sheoldred is a nightmare. Sheoldred's always been bad, right? Sheoldred's always been a card that you just never really want to go against. It's a really tough card. It punishes you for playing the game. Broadside Barrage does 5 damage. At least it does something, right? At least it's a card that can deal with Sheoldred. Outside of that, I could see maybe bounce spells. A little bit of tempo could go a long way for a deck list like this, but we really are trying to do the aggro thing. So also, I'll tell you what, the Tersa Lightshatter is one of the main reasons we can call it discard aggro instead of leaning it into like Izzet tempo or something like that. And that haste should just be amazing when we get to see it. If you're actually dropping the haste down, getting a good swing after an Eidetic Memory, then it's going to be huge, a huge chunky hasty creature. Or maybe you established a Monument of Endurance and now you're in the mid game. You're still going to be very happy to see a hasty creature come down that activates the endurance abilities, maybe having the opponent lose life, and then you're also swinging for a 3/3 as well. I think it's a perfect card for this deck list. The question is, how many do we want? We saw a lot of them. We saw all 3 in that last game. They weren't doing anything, but that's because the opponent was just picking us apart pretty much no matter what we saw at that point. We were going to get obliterated. And it could have come down to like my early turn where I established Monument early, even though we should have known that this town ain't big enough was going to eventually bounce it back to hand. It's tough. It's tough. Like that game, I'll go back and watch, but I feel like there wasn't much we could have done there, right? And that's another thing too, where just 2 damage and 3 damage doesn't always do it, right? The Tolarian Terrors were terrifying. Broadside Barrage could have gotten us there, but don't forget the Terrors also have Ward. So you're not only spending 3, but you also have to spend the Ward cost too, so now you need more mana. So if you drop down to 21 mana, right? Because I sent that third, no, was it the 4th? I sent the 4th early on, which made it so that way we couldn't play multiple spells against a deck list that was countering everything we had every single turn. Multiple spells would have really come in handy and maybe could have bought us a couple extra turns to maybe actually establish more endurances or see more off the top eventually, and maybe eventually pop off that way, which I guess you never know at that point. The game literally could have come down to me sending that 4th, but all those turns, all those extra card draws, what are the odds that I missed the 4th for that many turns in a row after sending the 4th? I don't know. With 22 mana, well, I'll tell you what, the odds are lower if you go down to 21 mana, but at 22, I guess 22 mana feels about right for what the deck list is trying to do. Yeah, we have a lot of 3 drops. You want to see your 3rd on 3, but we have so many ways to trade out in here that it should be fine and dandy. Actually really like the split of everything, though. Another big thing is like the one of 3 steps ahead. This, I mean, feels weird only having 1, but it also feels a little unnecessary as well. I'd say just like even more early removal or something could be fine at that point. Maybe some burn. I wouldn't mind just like a burst lightning as a 1 of or something too. Because at that point too, when you do get into that mid game and you have established a monument or 2, I mean, really, you're kind of burning the opponent away with that bottom ability on the monument anyways, so you might just need that 1 extra turn to do a couple extra damage. Something like a Burst Lightning could really be good for that. Or maybe you just need an extra non-creature spell, 2 damage to the opponent's face, and you discard with Artist Talent on the board and pop off with your Endurance that way. That being said, though, middle ability on 3 steps ahead could do things like copy Steamcore Scholar. You could copy one of your legendaries too, but of course the legendary rule. But, we have ETB creatures in here. I could see copying the Fear of Missing Out to be pretty good too. But, 3 steps ahead right now is on the chopping block for me at least. That being said too, I'm not going to change anything with the deck list. This is definitely one that's just more testing required. I would say no matter what, you need more ways to deal with Sheoldred, but I'm not going to add anything or take anything out to do that right now because, yeah, just more testing. But Broadside Barrage right now is the only way to deal with Sheoldred. You could go up some of those, or you could consider some bounce spells. If you go up bounce spells, yeah, the opponent's just going to play Sheoldred next turn, but at least you bought yourself some tempo for the turn, which might mean the difference between life and death. Outside of that, if you do go up bounce spells, then you probably want to start leaning it towards tempo because some extra counter spells could go a long way if you're bouncing things back to the opponent's hand anyways. So then at that point, the deck list starts looking completely different too. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Lots to say about this, huh? Oh, I love the 1 Kiora too. I think that having the 1 Kiora over like the 4th Steamcore Scholar is totally worth it. 3 Scholars, 1 Kiora. I like that. And it really depends on the deck list for 1-ofs and whatnot, but it makes sense since we're filtering so much through this deck that we have a couple 1-ofs because we should be able to find them easy peasy as opposed to other decks that don't know how to see as much off the top. All 4 Monument of Endurance still makes sense, but since we are really leaning into those 3 drops, I could also see dropping a couple of these too. And guys, put it on the do not craft list because as far as I'm concerned, I'm calling it jank. So, and it's relatively expensive too. A lot of rares in here, right? Let's see. 3 steps ahead, Eidetic Memory, and Artist Talent is a rare. Fear of Missing Out is a rare. Kiora, Scholar, Lightshatter, Monument. Yeah, and then here's our uncommons, and then don't forget the mana base too, which the mana base felt pretty good. I just like leaning all early things. I don't think the Reef really did too much damage to us today either. Just very important to have untapped sources early on, making sure that we can actually mana fix properly, and especially since one of our early pieces of removal is Izzet colors, that's relatively greedy too, so you just need to have that early mana for your early removal or your early setup at that point too. Yeah, very expensive deck list. Put it on the do not craft list, guys. I'll be putting it up as aggro jank when I put it up on Aether Hub, so whoop, buddy. I think that's everything. I had a lot to say, huh? Yeah, and the matches where it did the thing, I think it showcased itself beautifully. Let me know what you thought down in the comments. What would you add or take out? What does your discard aggro deck list look like? Or for that matter, what kind of Izzet deck list are you running? Are you running the Izzet Steel Cutter? Because I've been seeing a lot of that recently for good reason, right? It seems pretty decent. Okay, guys, for real, if you made it this far, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video.